Yes, it's your man once again, Moomin on the mic, back with another episode of the Initiative Podcast, where we get into everything world news, celebrity news, sociology, psychology, and WTF. Let's get it going. Alright, first thing is first, I want to give a shout out to a couple podcasts that I've just recently been checking out. I mean, well, not recently, more like within the last year recently, you know what I'm saying? I got a list of podcasts that I want to give shout outs to just because of their consistency and the topics they talk about, the energy they bring, and it's just, you know, it's really good energy and it's really good information. You can curtail your entire habits, your entire life surrounding the, you know, experiences that they that they put out there. You know what I mean? First thing is the Off the Record podcast. These beautiful women right there, you know, they get into all kinds of relationship topics. You know, it's somewhere between the news of the day and group chat, you know, how they put it. You know, shout out to the Off the Record podcast. The other one is the Black Guy Who Tips podcast. You know, he's definitely someone to check out. Another one is Code Switch. That's an NPR podcast. Another one is Therapy for Black Girls. Love that podcast. I checked out quite a few episodes. That's for, you know, any one of y'all ladies that needs somebody to talk to or that needs to hear other women talk about it. Boom, that's the one for you. The Black Butterfly podcast. That's another one. Truth Be Told. With Wick Lander Zulowski. That's an interesting one. There's a certain kind of dry humor to him. You know, everything dealing with business, politics, politicians. You know, that's a good watch too. Then you got the Black Wealth Renaissance podcast, with everything about black wealth building, black wealth discussions, black wealth topics. I love their podcast. You know, they just recently did an episode to where they get into the black wealth actually disappearing. That right there is a serious situation. They're talking about by 2050 in America, the black wealth amongst the black population may be gone. Okay? What? And then, you know, I've heard this topic just surrounding my Instagram and surrounding the circles that I listen to, and it's like, it's an interesting topic because we're talking about black excellence versus black empowerment, right? So you got to ask yourself, black excellence versus black empowerment, what's going on here? How is the black wealth disappearing? And if we're on schedule by 2050, that doesn't make much sense. If black excellence is, you know, we have the most millionaires in the world right now amongst the black population. We have the most college HBCU graduates right now amongst the black population, which is the black women leading that charge. You know what I'm saying? And it's every time I think about it, it's like, what is going on? You know what I mean? But then I keep thinking about our music and what we allow our people to listen to. You know, I keep thinking about the glorification of our own genocide and the monetization of the killing and of the degradation of our mindsets, of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding we should be putting into our music. Music being an ancient art of energy, you know, control and energy summoning, you know, of sorts. You know, you got to look that up. It's just like we're the only people that glorifies our own genocide for the sake of a dollar. You know what I mean? It's absurd. You know what I mean? So that podcast got me thinking a lot about it. You know, my circles within communications got me thinking a lot about it, and it's just like crazy. We gonna move on. The Read is another daily podcast that I like. Daily topics about pretty much everything. You know what I mean? I like The Read. I love The Read. I just got into that. You know, I'm going down to episodes of that. And then Cultivating Her Space, Uplifting. That's another podcast. You know, Uplifting Voices, I mean. You can go check that out. Those are the podcasts that I've just recently, in the last year, got down with. Not to mention all the other podcasts that I've already named in the intro of the Initiative Podcast. Like I said, when I told y'all before, I'm a real big podcast head. And let's get into some other topics. And right now, what I want to talk about is Jayla McCoy. 23-year-old earned her bachelor's of science in mechanical engineering, minor in computer science, and just landed a six-figure job right after graduating. You know what I'm saying? With Exxon. So I just wanted to, I synced that in my feed. I synced that going down my loop, and I just wanted to give her a congratulations because that's amazing. 23 years old, she's getting a six-figure check, and that's every couple weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I'm talking about. And computer science too, and that's another thing. That's a field that I feel like the black population definitely needs to get into it just a little bit more. You know what I mean? A lot more, really, especially in the day and age with AI. And we're talking about multiple different AI programs. Okay, now it's time to get into data engineering. Now it's time to get into data science. And now it's time to get into coding. You know what I mean? Me, myself, like I said, I created my own digital currency called the Netter Coin. That's an ERC20 script that you definitely have to code. You have to write it. You know what I'm saying? And you have to write it in code. There are multiple different code languages. I advise people to start reading, pick up a couple books, and get down with them. We're talking about, Node.js code. We're talking about Solidity. We're talking about C++. We're talking about Python. These are code program languages that we definitely, as a people, and anyone who is hearing this needs to pick up a book and just get into at least the intermediate basics. Not just the basics, but we're talking about the intermediate basics. We need to expand our abilities within the AI community as it grows. We're moving into a digital age. All right, cyberspace is now almost on par with reality. Okay, we don't want to have both of them blending, and we ain't got the means to survive in it. Think about it. When holographic technology comes out, and it will, and it's combined with magnetic tech, and we have the ability to start levitating certain things, and we have the ability to start closing in the spaces between. Let's say I want to travel to New York and California in 5 minutes, and I can close that space by opening a portal, writing code using holographic and magnetic tech. What are we going to do here if I have no idea how to write it, right? So it's the Matrix for real. It's something to think about, and we're going to move on. Kevin Gates. I want to get... Yo. Kevin, what's going on? So you got Kevin Gates' girlfriend, side chick, leaks phone argument after she finds out that, he's still messing with Brittany Jenner, right? Or Brittany Renner. My bad. Brittany Jenner. No, Brittany Renner. So look, check it out. Damn. Alright? Just damn it. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know. Here's my thing. And me as a man, I've been in this situation before. I've used, emotions, in a negative way before. I've trapped emotions in negative ways before. Just on some real toxic shit. I ain't even gonna hold you. You know what I mean? And I understand where she's coming from. I understand where he's coming from. And my thing is, if both of y'all kept it real, if both of them kept it real out the gate, here's where everyone falls into the trap of trying to change the minds of the other. And you can't change nobody on this planet. Nobody can change anybody unless they want to change for themselves. And that's just the facts. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those are just the hardcore facts. If a person does not want to change, you then cannot make that person change, no matter how much of an influence, no matter how much of a pretty face, no matter how fat the ass is, no matter how thick the titties are, no matter how big the Johnson is. All right? It ain't going to happen. You know what I'm saying? If the person don't want to change, or if the person doesn't want to elevate with you in a certain kind of way, if the person don't want to grow with you in a certain type of way, if y'all are on two different books and without being on two different pages, it's not going to work out. You see what I'm saying? No matter what you do, no matter how many tears, no matter how many arguments, trust me, it took me a long time to learn that. And I had to learn that the hard way every time. So, hey, good graces to the girl. Hey, good graces to Kevin Gates. Hey, come out with that music, bro. Put it in the music. You see what I'm saying? We're going to move on. And so the Breakfast Club had a live stream called Dream Forward. It was a new business plan for America, a historic virtual town hall meeting where you had, I think his name was John Hope, and two other gentlemen, a couple other gentlemen, and they were just talking about the history of the future of the black struggle, black empowerment, and the black choices, and just the choices that we make with the people that are around us. And I found that to be a really interesting watch. I watched it for a little bit, quite some time, and I was just soaking it up. And when he got into, about Martin Luther King being assassinated, and he felt that Martin didn't feel any pain at all, that it was a smooth transition. He was here, he completed a mission as part of one of many pieces of the catalyst of our evolution as a people. And I really felt that, and I really dig that. And watching that town hall with the Breakfast Club, shout out to the Breakfast Club for putting that live stream up there. That was it was pretty beautiful. But and we're gonna move on, yo. So shout out to Lex Borretto. He was on my Instagram. He was talking about on why artists and managers should split 50-50. I completely agree. Shout out to Black Professional Network Women in Excellence Awards. Dr. Bryant, she showed up with that, and the Elite Auto Source of LA. They both showed up, they showed out, they got the awards going on. I love her, she's one hell of a therapist right there. All her therapist streams and all her therapy episodes that she's been doing, I definitely check out, because I'd be absorbing every last word. She'd be saying almost every last word, but I definitely take in account everything she does say indeed. And I use it as, kind of a subjective therapy for myself. I mean, we all need it, right? And shout out to Sierra coming out with that music video, Can You Feel the Ecstasy? This is why she stayed pregnant. Okay. I need Sierra to come out with a full-fledged project and a tour without having one more baby. I mean, have a baby at least after that. I've been a fan of Sierra since the beginning. Love her moves, love her style, love her music. And it's like she came out with that, and everybody started getting on her, though, talking about, oh, she's married, da-da-da-da-da-da. Please. I'm pretty sure Russell knew what it was, and he definitely approved of it. I mean, what's not to love? What's not to love? It's Sierra we talking about, people. All right. So that's what it is right there. Episode 1 initiative podcast. Just had to get that out. Episode 2 dropping. You know what I mean? Stay tuned for that. And I want to thank y'all again for tuning into it one more time. I had to get out these little topics that I just had to put my piece to it. You know what it is. It's Moon Man on the mic. And I pray for everyone to stay safe. I pray for everyone to get it right. Stay dangerous. And episode 2. I'll see y'all next time. Moon Man on the mic. I don't mean no disrespect, but no way.